thriving on the labor market in the face of childhood adversity. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has starkly reminded us of the fragility of children around the world. In the past 2 years, the reported cases of household violence and other sorts of adversities have sharply increased, and it's suspected that many cases have gone unreported. Now, research on the impact of childhood adversity is booming, and the last few decades have seen a surge in research on the short and the long-term effects of childhood adversity. Now, childhood adversity has, for example, been linked to increased risk of mental health problems, physical health problems, and mortality, to name but a few. Now, interestingly, research on the impact of childhood adversity and a very important societal cornerstone in young adulthood and onwards, namely labor market participation, has been largely unexplored. Now, the United Nations has incorporated access to decent work and economic growth in the Sustainable Development Goals, which highlight the importance of this topic. Now, as work opens but also closes many doors in life, it is crucial to get more insight into the association between adversity and labor market participation. Now, the little research we have on labor market participation and childhood adversity has shown that it is very likely for individuals who are affected by a large extent or a large exposure to adversity are very often outside of the labor market. They are inactive, have no access to jobs. And this is highly problematic, as we know that early labor market inactivity is a very strong predictor of labor market inactivity later in life. And we also know that labor market inactivity is associated with poorer health across the lifespan. Now, research on individuals affected by adversity is quite complicated, especially when assessing the impact of long-term outcomes such as labor market participation. Now, many researchers have observed that individuals who are affected by childhood adversity are more likely not to participate in studies that span prolonged periods of time. Now, as a result, we have but little information on those individuals who may need it the most. Now, very recently, researchers from the University of Copenhagen in Denmark have set up a unique study of 1.5 million individuals that combines data from multiple nationwide registry-based data to gain very accurate information on the occurrence of adversity and also short and long-term outcomes of interest. Now, register-based studies do not suffer from the problems I described earlier, and they're because people are tracked over their lifetime. And thus, these kind of data provide an excellent opportunity to gain more fine-grained insight into the impact of childhood adversity on labor market participation throughout young adulthood. My name is Tjeerd Rudmer de Vries. Later this year, I intend to visit the University of Copenhagen in Denmark in order to work on this very important topic using this unique data set called DenLife. With my research, I hope to gain insight into the impact of childhood adversity on labor market participation in order to guide policymakers to develop policies that may allow individuals to thrive on the labor market in the face of adversity. Thank you very much for your attention.